Finale for the Kansas Jayhawks and the Iowa State Cyclones. Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us. I'm John Walters along with Andrew Schneider. Glad you could join us on a special day. It is senior day for the Cyclones, and Andrew, two seniors that have meant a ton to the Iowa State program honored before this game.
And really a big reason why this program has grown and really become competitive in the past couple of years. Erica Miller, Tori Toscano really leading both major statistical categories. If you look across the board, they're 1 and 2 in a lot of them. And really just two players that really give personality to this team and are really important, as we saw right before the game with that ceremony, and two really good friends, both from California, who've come and made this program a little bit more special.
It's a beautiful day for softball here in Ames, and we'll have the starting lineups for you coming up right after these messages. Hi, I'm John Walters. Ames is the home of the Cyclones and so much more.
I am a helpful smile.
I'm a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I
am a helpful smile.
I've been a helpful smile for 23 years.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
What we watched was so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, a nice job with our national anthem, and a nice crowd gathered here today at Cyclone Sports Complex for Senior Day. Andrew told you about the great careers of Tori Toscano and Erica Miller playing their final game here in Ames, and so exciting that they got to play in this beautiful facility in their final year. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. First of all, offensively for Kansas today, they will go with Alex Jones, the leadoff hitter in center field. Maggie Hull having a big series out in left. Alex Hugo, the big home run yesterday. She's the catcher. Naudine also lighting it up in this series. Montgomery hitting fifth, playing first. Salomon, Bricky, Stein, and Newman round out the lineup for Kansas. For Iowa State defensively, it looks like this. Cyclones with Jordan Spenlove in left. Brittany Gomez, the outstanding freshman, coming off a great day in center field. Sarah Harlux in right. It's Maddie Reese at third. Lexi Slater, she homered yesterday. She's at shortstop. Sarah Davison at second. Erica Miller at first. And the battery is Tori Toscano and Hallie Lenzine. And Andrew, tell us a little bit about the senior, Tori Toscano.
Well, she's had a bit of a tough series so far. Gave up 8 earned runs in yesterday's contest, including 6 in inning number 8 in that extra innings game where Iowa State led with 2 outs in the top half of the 7th. So a tough loss yesterday, but she's really improved her pitching throughout her career and has a 5.76 ERA and 159 and a third innings and 71 strikeouts in 26 games started. So Toscano looking to get that last win here as a senior and what's likely to be her last ever game in NCAA and Big 12 softball as we head to postseason. The end of the regular season, of course, across the country is this afternoon. So she's looking to get that last game out of the way, and she hopes to do it both defensively here in the circle and offensively when she comes up to bat fourth in the bottom half, possibly of the first.
Kansas has won the first 2 games of the series. They won 8-0 on Friday. There you see the conditions. Beautiful day, 52 degrees, but it feels warmer than that with the wind only at about 14 miles an hour. Contrast that with yesterday, where it was a steady 30 miles an hour with gusts of 40, and it was miserable as far as that goes yesterday. But today it's perfect, and Alex Jones will stand in. I mentioned KU won the first game of the series 8-0 on Friday. They came back and won a thriller yesterday, 12-6 in 8 innings. And Jones stands in against Toscano and takes the first pitch of the game wide for ball 1. Yesterday's game very well played by both teams, but Kansas able to force extra innings. They got a 2-out hit against Toscano in the 7th to get it to extra innings and then put up that big 6-run 8th to win it 12-6 over Iowa State. Big win for Kansas as they're vying for a spot in the NCAA tournament, and they are improving their resume, having won the first 2 games in this series. 1-1 now to Jones, and Toscano delivers, and that is bunted foul. It's 1-2.
Jones was kept in check for the most part yesterday, 1 for 5 with a run scored. And as you said, Kansas on the cusp of some postseason action. Heading into this weekend, we were looking before the game, they're in RPI right around that 50 number. So they're kind of on that outside part looking in, but they've got certainly a team that's going to be dangerous for a lot of teams to face.
Matty Reese will handle that, and 1 up, 1 down for Kansas. So good speed kept off the base paths in Alex Jones, and that brings in Maggie Hull, who hit one of the longer home runs I've seen in a softball game yesterday, Andrew. It bounced on the street across both fences in right center and went all the way up into the neighbor's yard, and I mean all the way to the house. It was a long home run by Hull.
And she's had a good series so far. She's had one on Friday as well, and we're starting to get into that part of the lineup for Hull, the senior. She's been one of the best hitters in Kansas program, hitting right around 450 this season. And as you said, this lineup is one of the best in the conference.
She is the leading hitter in the Big 12 Conference, 4 for 7 in this series, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. She is a really outstanding player. We mentioned the wind blowing at about 14 miles an hour. It is blowing out, so it'll help anything in the air today. Here's a changeup on the outside corner, strike 2 from Toscano.
Toscano's going to want a lot of pitches like that where you don't get those Kansas hitters swinging at them and they're just painted right over that outside edge. Not a whole lot you can do with those.
And the 1-2 on the way. Driven into center field. Backtracking is Brittany Gomez, and she'll make the catch on the warning track. 2 gone. So that wind pushed it a little bit, but not far enough to get it out of here.
And it looked like she got underneath that one just a little bit. Toscano able to keep her off balance there. You don't get Hull out too often. She almost hits as many times as she gets out. So a great way to start this top half of the inning.
Alex Hugo has had a big series as well. She's the catcher today for Kansas. She hits third in this lineup and takes a pitch inside for ball 1.
Future is certainly bright for the Jayhawks. 15 home runs as a freshman with 10 doubles as well. Slugging .808 on the season.
Incredible slugging percentage, you're right. And she takes inside 2-0 now on Hugo. It was her 3-run homer yesterday that really broke it open in that 8th inning. She has had a great series, 4 for 5, 4 runs scored. And that one misses. It's 3-0 from Tori Toscano to Alex Hugo. Hugo, the team leader with those 15 home runs and 47 RBIs. She slid past Maddie Stein into the team lead for RBIs with that 3-run shot yesterday. And she takes strike 1.
A great pitch from Toscano. Didn't put one right down the middle for Hugo to have a chance to drive one. That's a great strike 1 from a 3-0 pitch.
So now 3-1 on Hugo here in the top of the first. 2 away, nobody on. And Toscano delivers inside for ball 4. So Hugo is on base again, and that brings in Shannon Naudine, who has 2 long homers in this series. 5 RBIs. She moves up to the cleanup spot today.
Batting .295 on the season. So Kansas looking to use that power advantage that they like to have right here in this middle part of the lineup, possibly get the first run of the game.
And Toscano starts off Naudine with a changeup for strike 1. Nice pitch. Hugo on at first, 2 away. Toscano delivers, and that catches the outside corner. 0-2 now on Naudine.
Well, it's great to see Toscano get ahead of hitters early and that's really been a plague, if you will, a little bit for this pitching staff are those walks, and it's great to see Toscano attacking these hitters early.
And the 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and Torey Toscano is out of the first inning. We go to the bottom of the first. Cyclones coming up.
More often than not, the best solutions are the simple ones. When it comes to corn refuge, simple is better. Simple is here. DuPont Pioneer revolutionized simple with the broadest lineup of refuge management products. Better choices. Make it simple. Refuge simplified by DuPont Pioneer.
We're back at Cyclone Sports Complex. Iowa State coming up in the bottom of the first, and let's take a look at the hitting lineup for the Cyclones. Brittany Gomez will lead it off and play center field. Gomez coming off just a terrific game yesterday. She was outstanding, and she's now the leading hitter for Iowa State on the season, hitting .367 on the season. Sarah Harlock will hit second. Then you see Erica Miller, the senior first baseman, in the 3-hole, followed by Toscano, her fellow senior, hitting cleanup. Allie Kappert has raised her average to .293. She hits fifth. Lexi Slater at short. Sarah Davison playing second today. Jordan Spenlove in left, and Maddie Reese will hit ninth. She plays third base. The defensive lineup for Kansas looks like this. Hull, Jones, and Solomon around the outfield left to right. It's Naudine, Bricky, Newman, and Montgomery third to first. Kelsey Kessler is the pitcher, and Alex Hugo the catcher. And Andrew, Kelsey Kessler is a good one.
Yes, only a freshman and pitching in one of the toughest conferences in the country. A 2.11 ERA, 11-6 on the season, 110 strikeouts on 113 innings pitched, and I think kind of her point of pride this season was a shutout against number 1 Oklahoma just last weekend. And really, Kansas, just a young team, but a very talented team. This program looks like it's got a very bright future with Kessler, of course, throwing to Hugo. That battery for the next 3 years could be one of the most dangerous in the country.
Kessler has won the first 2 games in this series. She threw a shutout in game 1 on Friday, a 5-inning shutout, her second straight after shutting out number 1 Oklahoma. Gomez takes, and that is ball 1. She has 4 Big 12 conference shutouts, and she only pitches maybe half the time, and that 4 shutouts leads the Big 12 conference. So the freshman having a terrific season. She's the reigning Big 12 pitcher of the week. And a swing and a miss from Gomez. It's 1-1.
She's shown good stuff so far to a pretty good Iowa State lineup as well. And that middle of the lineup has struggled against Kessler a little bit. And in order for Iowa State to win, they're going to have to use some of that prior knowledge from the last 2 games to get on base.
That pitch up high, 2-1 the count now on Brittany Gomez. Gomez was absolutely outstanding yesterday. She has been throughout this series. 6 for 8 in the series, 3 stolen bases. Now the team leader with a .367 average. And a school record 31 stolen bases. Gomez slaps it to the right side and then digs for first, but Newman makes the throw to get her. 1 up, 1 down, and Gomez pretty much will beat out, Andrew, anything hit to the left side of the infield, but to the right side a little tougher.
Yeah, if that was hit to Bricky or to Naudine, I think she's safe over at first base, but hit it a little harder than I think she wanted to, right at Newman. And Newman, of course, with a nice strong throw over to Montgomery, and that's a first out. And Iowa State wants to get some offense, I think, early and try and put the pressure on Kansas here.
Sarah Harlock stands in. And she has had hard luck in this series, struggling with the bat. 0 for 7 in the series. She struck out 4 times yesterday. So trying to get it going here. And that pitch misses. It's a late, very late strike call from the home plate umpire. I don't know why they all do that, but he waited a good 3 or 4 seconds to raise the right hand. So
the old instant replay, John.
1-1. That one, I think, misses. Yes, no raising the right hand. It's 2-1 on Harlock.
And that's the thing, is that sometimes those umpires, those borderline ones, they like to, I guess, review it in their head once or twice and make sure they're absolutely sure. And he was sure that last one was a strike and that one was a ball.
That one slapped just foul by Harlock. Well, they make the call loud and clear down on the field, so the players know. But up here, we can't hear that, and so we got to wait for him to raise his hand, and he sometimes will wait a while. The home plate umpire today is Kevin Killingsworth. And 2-2 the count on Sarah Harlock, hitting second for the Cyclones. Freshman Kessler winds and delivers. And Harlock swings and misses, strike 3. 2 gone, and here comes Erica Miller. And we showed you the ceremony here on Cyclones.tv for Erica and Tori Toscano.
If they weren't motivated before, if this is potentially their last game, they're going to look to go out in style. And, of course, Miller, they were talking about her stats before the game, and really she's been shining in conference play. Her average is higher against some of the best competition in the country.
0-1 the count on Erica Miller, and she swings away, and that'll go to Newman. A little spin on it. Newman struggles to pick it up, but does so and gets the out. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Kessler. We go to the second. No score.
Are you really covered? Not all insurance is the same, and you should have an agent that takes the time to learn about what you need, then tailors a personalized plan that fits your needs. Middendorf Insurance is not like the rest. We're a cut above the crowd. Insurance for your business, farm, home, auto, or other assets. Middendorf Insurance Associates.
Faster internet, better TV, at our lowest price ever. Now for a limited time, call Mediacom to get always faster internet with downloads up to 10 times faster than phone line DSL. Plus, boundary-free TV, including all your favorite channels for just $59.95 a month for 1 year. That's 2 services for one incredible value. Or maximize your value with DVR service. 30 meg internet, free on demand and stars for only $20 more. Great savings, no contract required. Call 800-SIMPLIFY.
Back here at Cyclone Sports Complex, John Walters along with Andrew Schneider. No score, Iowa State and Kansas in the third and final game of this series, final game of the Big 12 campaign. And Kansas 8-8 in Big 12 play, Iowa State 4-13. Tori Toscano pitched well in the first, and she stands back in the circle for inning number 2.
Toscano, we were talking about it in between commercial breaks, that she's really gotten through the first time in the lineup. She's been very good. It's just been that second time that's been the trouble so far. And Kansas, one of those better offenses that looks like they'd like to see a pitcher once or twice, get used to the timing a little bit, get used to her release point. And they've seen her now 3 times this weekend. So she's got a tough task in front of her this afternoon.
First pitch to Mariah Montgomery misses. Montgomery, 6 RBIs in the series. A big 3-run double in the gap against Toscano in game 1. She grounds to short. Slater has a strong arm, uses it. 1 up, 1 down.
Great to see Lexi Slater out there. She's been making those plays all season long, and this infield has as well. And we know that the Iowa State pitching staff likes to rely on that infield defense. It's one of the better ones here in the conference.
Kansas has a lot of left-hand hitters in their lineup, including Cassin Salomon. She stands in and takes strike 1 on the inside corner.
Infield playing way in here, including Davison and Slater, and they're not afraid if she hits one. She only has 1 extra base hit all season long.
Chopped to Slater across the diamond, and a good dig by Erica Miller. 2 up, 2 down.
And that's that evidence of that very solid defense. Slater very good defensively over there at short, and that one could have taken one of those funny hops, but she got to it quickly and was able to beat out the speedy Solomon.
Chaylee Brickey stands in, freshman, with 2 away and nobody on. And a drive to left, but foul, and that had home run distance. Put Brickey out in front.
Not a whole lot of power in this lineup for Kansas. If there's one knock that you could have, they have very high average. They get a lot of people on base, but there's only 3 players with 7 or more home runs. So it'd be surprising to see anyone but those 3 in the middle get some, especially with the wind not as strong as it was yesterday.
1-1 the count now on Brickey. But they have been hot with the home run bats in this series, with 5 of them in the first 2 games. So they have really swung the bats well, and they are the leading hitting team in the Big 12 Conference at .342 on the season. Brickey takes, High and away, it's 2-1. Kansas really swinging the bats well in this series against Iowa State. 2-1 the count on Bricky. That misses. 3-1 now. If you joined us the last couple of days, you heard us tell the story of Bricky, who should, for all practical purposes, be a high school senior right now, but graduated early. A top 25 prospect coming out of high school, and here she is at Kansas. She was the cleanup hitter the first 2 games of the series. She takes down low for ball 4. Second walk for Toscano. And it brings on Maddie Stein, another of those left-hand hitters in this KU lineup.
That's kind of the story for this Kansas team, is that, and maybe they didn't want the season they wanted conference, but we've seen the flashes of it, especially with that shutout against Oklahoma. This team they can beat just about anybody, and they're very young, and that's a scary thing if you're Iowa State or any other team in the conference with a team like Kansas, when you have all these young hitters that are hitting well against some of these better teams.
And Kessler and Pilley. Kessler's a freshman, Pilley a sophomore. They're top 2 pitchers. And Toscano delivers back up the middle, a base hit for Stein. First and second now with 2 outs. First hit of the game for KU. But Iowa State has a lot of good young players in its lineup as well, Andrew. And we saw the ceremony for 2 great seniors today, but there's a lot of reasons for optimism for Iowa State's future as well, with the number of freshmen and sophomores that they have playing big roles this year.
Especially when we see Allie Capper in the next half of the inning. She's really turned it on as of late. And offensively, Iowa State looks like they've set things up for the future as well.
Ashley Newman with a drive to right, caught by Sarah Harlock. And we go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. Here are names.
The football playing field can be tough. Sometimes there are setbacks. No matter what, you keep playing the game.
Our field is no different.
Sometimes the challenges are tough here too. Like when at the drought. But no matter what,
we work hard to feed and fuel America.
Iowa Corn, where every day is game day for Iowa's corn growers.
Every day, insurance companies are telling you they're the coolest thing since sliced bread. What can I say? In Mittendorf Insurance, we're still a whole loaf. Truth is, we write home, auto, business, life, and health insurance. We don't have apps on smartphones or tablets. Why? A, it's expensive, and B, no app can advise on possible coverage gaps. Give us 10 minutes. You may end up with better coverage and a better price.
No score here at Cyclone Sports Complex. We go to the bottom of the second, and Tori Toscano will lead things off for Iowa State, the senior, wrapping up just a tremendous career.
Yeah, indeed she is. The all-time leader in home runs in program history. One of the more powerful hitters, of course, in the Cyclone lineup. That stat would translate, of course. And Toscano, though, struggling a little bit in conference play, and I think this afternoon she's going to have a little bit of that extra motivation to kind of get that bat awaken up a little bit here. And Iowa State looking probably to score a couple runs here early. I think they could really take advantage of that before Kansas gets that dreaded second time through the lineup for both teams. And I think the offensive fireworks are yet to be seen. But so far, both pitchers doing a good job keeping the ball low. We haven't seen a lot of line drives or fly balls yet, but Toscano hoping to change that right now.
And there's a strike from Kessler. One pitcher facing another here. Oh and 1 on Tori Toscano, and Kessler rocks and delivers. And that pitch misses inside. It's 1-1. Iowa State trying to get one win in this series. As Kansas won a tight one yesterday, and that changeup had Toscano out in front. 1-2 now to Tori Toscano. Senior from San Diego. Not as heralded as Erica Miller coming in, but every bit as productive.
Indeed, she has been, and those two are 1-2 in a lot of the top stat categories for the Cyclones in program history.
Toscano pops it up, and Montgomery a juggling catch in foul territory.
Well, Toscano almost got second life there. She runs back with a little bit of a grin, but Montgomery almost lost that one, and that would have been tough for Kansas to give Toscano a second chance, especially when she knows that she's coming up on her last at-bats, and someone who has plenty left coming up now, and Allie Kappert. And I know we were talking in that last half about Kansas's future, but Iowa State, a very bright one as well, and someone who's really turned it on as of late, Allie Kappert. And she's raised her average. I know when we were starting broadcast, it was hovering right around the dreaded Mendoza line at 200, and she's almost up to 300 now.
2 for 3 yesterday with a couple of walks, so she reached base 4 times. She has a very good hitting eye, and she takes ball 1 here. Great grasp of the strike zone. And the thing I like, Andrew, she uses every part of the ballpark. She can drive it with power to left, center, or right. We've seen her do all 3. 1-0 the count. Kappert takes on the outside edge, 1-1.
And it's taken her a little bit of time to adjust to some of the great pitchers we've seen all season long here throughout the Big 12. And it was only a matter of time as you had more opportunities to watch her at Ankeny, but really just a lot of power. And that's so promising for Iowa State as they move forward here to replace Toscano and Miller, to have someone that can stick in that cleanup spot, who's going to be able to pick up those runs from that. All the times on base Harlock and Gomez are likely to get on next season as well.
2-1 now to Kappert. She had a pretty good swing at that, but an inside-out one, and it fouls off. So it's 2-2. That time, Kessler came inside. Most pitchers tend to try to just stay on that outside edge against Kappert, but as I mentioned, she's pretty good at driving it into left field. Now 2-2 count to Allie Kappert with 1 away here in the second. She takes that one away, 3-2.
That's been the most, I think, noticeable improvement. As you said, that batting eye has really come alive, and she's really been a lot more selective, taking a lot more walks in the second half of the season, and that's improved her ability to drive those pitches and to find the ones she wants to and get those out in the gaps.
And Kappert takes ball 4, so she's on base. First base runner of the game for Iowa State. Allie Kappert with her 3rd walk in the last 2 games. Brings on Lexi Slater, the shortstop.
And she's a player that's really, she turns it on when the broadcasts are on. She's got 5 home runs this season, I believe. The majority of those have come when we've called her on air. There's another young player for the Cyclones offensively who's really picked it up as of late.
First pitch, a strike from Kessler. Slater hit the ball hard twice yesterday. A home run and then a drive off Kessler into the gap in right center for a double. She really smoked both those swings, and here she is with Kappert on base and 1 away here in the second. Still scoreless, Iowa State and Kansas.
14 of her hits have been extra base hits, and that's about a third of those. So I think the biggest thing that she's going to be looking to do and improve in the season is her eye and making a lot more contact, not just getting those big swings in, but also getting a lot of those singles and a lot of those walks and those bunt singles. Slater's got some pretty good speed out there. She's a pretty good athlete. So this middle part of the lineup, very promising for Iowa State, despite the fact they're losing 2 of the best in program history.
Kappert on at first, 1 away, and a 1-2 pitch on the way to Slater, and she couldn't hold up. That's strike 3. So Lexi Slater strikes out, and that'll bring up Sarah Davison. Davison scored a couple of runs yesterday, was 1 for 4. The junior from St. Louis stands in. That pitch misses. Well, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Hope you're enjoying Cyclone softball on Cyclones.tv. We have a bunch of moms here at the ballpark. They gave flowers as they walked in the door. There's a pitch that's a strike. It's 1-1.
Of course, great to see all the moms in town for graduation weekend as well. Mine, of course, was in there, and if she's watching, a happy Mother's Day to her. And we see a lot of the mothers, as you said, out here in the crowd. A great crowd this afternoon in the home finale for the Cyclones.
Davison to short, a short hop by Bricky, but she fires across to get the out, and Iowa State is retired here in the second. So we go to the third, still scoreless here in Ames. Iowa State fans, this is the time to get on board with Cyclones.tv.
Welcome everybody on Cyclones.tv. for tuning in.
We have a special moment for Ryan and Anna if I can get it out of my pocket.
Well, I mean, our expectations are that Russell's hard as we can.
She's going to be a superstar this year.
A basketball program needs leaders. Edgem is just that.
Will Clyburne's got it stuck on automatic.
Anna Prinz, three-pointer is up. It's good!
Sorry, I gotta give my Cyclones.tv some love here.
Sign up today at www.cyclones.tv.
Faster internet, better TV at our lowest price ever. Now for a limited time, call Mediacom to get always faster internet with downloads up to 10 times faster than phone line DSL. Plus, boundary-free TV, including all your favorite channels for just $59.95 a month for 1 year. That's 2 services for one incredible value. Or maximize your value with DVR service. 30 meg internet, free on demand and stars for only $20 more. Great savings, no contract required. Call 800-SIMPLIFY.
Iowa State and Kansas scoreless as we go to the third. Just one hit so far in the ball game. That was a harmless single for Maddie Stein in the second inning. And you see a sun-drenched crowd enjoying a beautiful day here in Ames. And the town did get a little quieter after graduation. Andrew, congratulations on your graduation. Also, Johnny Gendrich from our Cyclones.tv staff graduating over the weekend, and I'm sure it's a proud moment for your family.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun to have the family in town this weekend, as I know is for a lot of people here. And as Torrescano, the senior, delivers that first pitch right there, I know it's a great weekend. But like you said, when I was driving in, and there's no cars at the stadium, there are no cars over at the dorms. It's going to be a very quiet summer, but a good one for sure.
The 1-0 pitch is chopped over the second baseman, Davison, and into right field for a base hit. Good piece of hitting that time by the leadoff hitter, Alex Jones, and she's on with good speed at first.
And so we were saying in that last half of the inning that these teams are liking to see that pitcher twice through the lineup, and I know that they've seen a lot of Torrescano this weekend so far in Kansas, and they're looking to do a little bit of damage here as we creep up on those middle innings.
Jones 11 for 12 on stolen bases this season. She's on at first, and there's the first pitch to Hull, missing. Jones coming off ACL and MCL surgery. Missed all of last season with that injury, but she has recovered very well and runs well, and she's a threat over there at first base. And Hull, certainly a threat at the plate. She's been terrific in this series and all season long. Hallie Lenzine, the catcher, looking the runner back, but it's 2-0 now on Maggie Hull.
And you look up and down this lineup, that might be another one of those things that Kansas doesn't necessarily do well just yet. And Jones and Newman are the only two that have attempted more than double digits in stolen bases. So not a lot of speed in this lineup, but certainly they get on base enough that they don't have to worry a whole lot about stealing bases.
There's strike one from Torrescano, so 2-1 the count now on Maggie Hull. Torrescano delivers. It's bunted foul by Hull, so now it's 2-2. I don't think anybody on that Iowa State bench is going to be too upset to see Maggie Hull shorten up to bunt, because that bat has been a weapon in this series. A couple of home runs, 5 RBIs, that monster shot to right center yesterday.
It's always a surprise to see someone hitting so well to do that, but of course, the teams always like to get that first run to put the pressure on the other one. So that's what I think we were trying to see from Hull, is to get the runner over to second.
Hull into left field this time. Spenlove could not quite hang on. The runner's trying to hold up for a moment, so they'll be second and third now on a double by Hull. Spenlove got a glove on it. Could not quite haul it in, as Maggie Hull got good contact there in a double, second and third, nobody away.
And that's the game of inches that softball and baseball are, as we see Spenloff reaching back, and she took a track that was a little bit shorter than I think she wanted to take on that one. And that's a matter of difference. It's the difference between a double and potentially a double play, as Jones was flying around second as Spenloff was reaching back there. But of course, Iowa State on the bad side of that, bad luck there, and now runners at second and third with nobody out.
And a good hitter in Hugo standing in. And the pitch misses from Torrescano. Alex Hugo, 15 homers, 47 RBIs on the season, and she stands in with nobody out and 2 runners in scoring position. Hugo 4 for 5 at the plate in this series prior to her walk in her first at bat today. She fouls this one off, 1-1.
So much talent right there. Does Alex Hugo have? Multi-talented. She catches. She'll be a designated player. She steals bases. High on base percentage as well. She's on base almost half the time. So Iowa State needs to be very careful with what they do here.
Infield playing in. And Hugo takes away. It's 2-1. Hugo from Olathe, Kansas. Be one of the top players in this league for years to come. 2-1 delivery from Toscano to Slater at short. She'll look the runner back and fire across for the out. Good play. And the first out of the inning.
And that's one way to stop that run from third scoring. Kansas with nobody out didn't have to take that risk, but Slater did a good job of looking the runner back over at third and Jones, and once again making a strong throw that's per the usual for her, and Iowa State doing a good job there of tiptoeing and getting that first out.
So Shannon Naudine, the cleanup hitter, stands in with two runners in scoring position, one away now. She crowds that plate. Toscano delivers, and the pitch low, ball one. You would think that the approach would be to come in on the hands of Naudine just to try to jam her, but she is very quick with those hands, as she's shown in this series. And here's Brittany Wildmiller, the pitching coach, coming out to talk with Toscano. And the defense?
That was a very quick, that was a bit of a jaunt there. She was very quick to go out to Toscano. I think they saw something there, and they're just double checking, making sure they know what the plan is here as this tough middle of the lineup comes up for Kansas.
Mariah Montgomery standing on deck. Kansas threatening here in the third in a scoreless game.
Never hurts every now and then to get a good reminder as to what the plan was or the book is on a certain hitter. And when you're in a situation like this with no runs scored but runners in scoring position, it's good to get the defense reset as well to understand what to do in case the runner breaks for home on some sort of short contact or anything like that.
Chop foul by Naudine, 1-1. Naudine, as I mentioned, crowds that plate, but she's only been hit by 2 pitches this season, so she steps back and gets those hands through very quickly. And that pitch misses away. Now it's 2-1 to Naudine. Tori Toscano in a jam here in the third. Delivers the 2-1 pitch. And that is away as well. It's 3-1 now. First base is open, but Mariah Montgomery very dangerous in the on-deck circle.
And it's one of those pick your poison situations, but each have right around 15 extra base hits and right around that 30 RBI mark. So both coming through, and you'll see it right there on that base hit up the middle.
And that's going to plate 2. It looks like it will, as Shannon Naudine delivers the 2-run single into center field, and Kansas strikes first. Jones and Hull scoring. And on a 3-1 count, she got a good pitch to hit.
And it was just down and away, and it's one of those where if it was hit at an infielder, that's likely out number 2 and only 1 run scoring, but that's kind of the danger you have when you have that pitch to contact kind of style where you like to let the defense work. Occasionally, and a lot of those bleed right on through.
This one gets through as well, and Naudine will hold up at second base. It's the 4th hit of the inning for Kansas, and Montgomery reaching. Now it's first and second again with 1 away, and Casson Salomon will stand in. Well, we saw Toscano in game 1 of this series pitch very well the first couple innings, and then, as you mentioned, Andrew, the Kansas hitters, second time they saw her in that lineup, they hit her much better. And that was the case again yesterday in relief, and now today it's repeated itself as Kansas stringing together some hits, and that's what makes this offense so dangerous. You mentioned on the season, despite what's happened in this series, they don't hit a lot of home runs, but they can string together hits. And here's a pitch on the outside corner, strike 1.
Well, that's kind of the trouble you have with a team like Kansas, is that you look at the numbers and nothing really jumps out except for that high batting average, and back-to-back-to-back singles with the occasional double, and that's when you start tallying up those runs.
There's a chopper to Davison. She'll make the short throw, and that's the second out of the inning. Salomon retired. It'll bring up Chaley Bricky as the runners move up to second and third. So 2 away here in the top of the third. Kansas a 2-0 lead, and Bricky stands in with 2 runners on base in scoring position. And Toscano starts with a changeup on the outside corner for strike 1. Good pitch.
And that's one of Toscano's stronger pitches, and was when she's able to get that off-speed stuff on the outer half to where they can't pull it and get some good solid contact on that. When she has the fastball working as well, and we've seen it a couple times throughout this season, when she gets those 2 pitches together, she certainly has a lot more success.
1-1 the count. Toscano, not overpowering. None of the Iowa State pitchers really are, but she's pretty good sometimes at working inside and out, working on the black part of the plate. And right there, she tries for the outside corner and hits it. It's 1-2. That's her strength. Just trying to keep hitters off balance with the variety of pitches. So now a 1-2 count to Bricky as Toscano tries to avoid further damage here in the third. Fouled off by Bricky to stay alive.
And that one had that kind of cutting action, if you will, is that would have been the straight fastball. Bricky likely could have put that one in a gap, but it had that good movement moving outside, and Bricky ended up chasing it and keeping that count at 1-2.
Small strike zone for Bricky. She's just 5'1". Here's the 1-2 pitch by Toscano, and that misses away. It's 2-2. The 2-2 pitch from Tori Toscano to Chaley Bricky. Misses inside, just barely. Toscano wanted it. Full count now with 2 away, and the runners will be going.
And that's the case sometimes when you aren't one of those harder throwers, is that you get a little bit more movement on those off-speed pitches, and that one looked like it was close, but it moved just a hair too much inside, and when you have that small strike zone, it's certainly not easy as well.
Bricky rips this one foul down the left field side. It stays at 3-2.
Interesting to see what Toscano goes with here. She's been able to keep Bricky off balance with that off-speed pitch, and she's been very close to the strike zone as well with the off-speed as well.
She goes with the changeup on a 3-2 pitch, but misses. Ball 4. So Maddie Stein will come up with the bases loaded. Second walk of the day for Bricky.
Bricky's been doing a good job of working the count so far. And as you said, the youngest player out there in the field, but certainly that batting eye tells a little bit more of a story. And she has 25 walks now on the season, so a lot of patience here in this bottom half of the lineup.
Maddie Stein takes strike 1 on the outside edge. Stein singled her first time up. She's the designated player today. She was the catcher yesterday. 0-1 the count. Toscano delivers, and a little off-speed pitch. Strike 2.
Iowa State would love to kind of dance around and only give up this pair of runs here. Iowa State's offense certainly capable of getting that back in a matter of a half inning, especially with that top half of the lineup looming.
Fouled off by Stein. Stays 0-2. But you don't want to fall too far behind Kelsey Kessler, because she has outstanding stuff. Hasn't allowed a hit yet. And she did have a no-hitter earlier this season at Texas Tech. And as we mentioned, leads the Big 12 with 4 shutouts. So she's one of the really good young pitchers in this conference, and don't want to dig too deep a hole. 0-2 here with the bases loaded. Stein takes, and that's ball 1.
Like to keep it at 2 runs, like you said, right here. And it's always a little bit easier, of course, when you have these 0-2, 1-2 counts. We're able to try and get a hitter to chase and see if they're a little bit over anxious to try and break this one open.
Nope. Stein rips one into right field, a base hit, and Harlock fires to the plate, and it gets through, but Toscano backing it up. So they get the run on the single, but 2 runners unable to score. It's an RBI single for Stein. brings home Naudine to make it a 3-0 Kansas lead. Base is still loaded for Ashley Newman.
A good throw from Harlech was able to keep the extra runner over and Montgomery over at third. So Iowa State able just to keep that to a one-run single on a very hard hit softball.
Newman takes strike one from Tori Toscano. Newman a slap hitter, but last time up she took a pretty full cut at it and flew out to right field. And Sarah Harlock usually just tries to chop it into the ground and run. And she takes strike two, 0-2 now from Toscano.
Great movement on that pitch outside, and that's how you beat those slap hitters a little bit when they're taking the first and second hit steps up that line. Is if you can get it outside and get it tailing, they're not able to see it as well, and Toscano did a great job of those first two with doing so.
0-2 delivery from Toscano, fouled off by Newman.
Toscano would like to put Newman away. She's been ahead of a couple hitters in this half inning, but just a couple of tough two-strike pitches to throw, and Kansas has been able to jump on a few of them.
And Newman puts it in play. Reese will just have to eat it. It's an infield hit for Newman. I thought that Reese might try to shovel it to the plate, but she thought better of it, and it's an RBI single on the infield hit for Newman. Brings home Montgomery to make it 4-0. Base is still loaded. Now back to the top of the order, and Alex Jones led off this inning with a single.
Jayhawks, one of those teams that just puts the ball in play, and this is what happens, is that nothing too terribly hard hit, but Steins was probably the hardest hit in this inning, but really just tough because they'll bleed through. They'll get past those good defenses usually if you hit enough of them, and they just do such an excellent job of putting the ball in play. They've been doing so all weekend.
6 hits in the inning for Kansas. At 4 runs to lead it 4-0. Alex Jones, the leadoff hitter, hitting for the second time in the inning. And she flies to left field, and this is Spen Love making the catch to end the inning. So Kansas strands 3 but scores 4 and leads it 4-0 going to the bottom of the third. Hi, I'm John Walters. Ames is the home of the Cyclones and so much more.
I am a helpful smile.
I'm a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I
am a helpful smile. I've been a helpful smile for 23 years.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
There's a beautiful day here at Cyclone Sports Complex. Mother's Day crowd really filling up those bleachers down the third base side today. Really terrific turnout. And Iowa State trails Kansas 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. It'll be Jordan Spenlove, Maddie Reese, and Brittany Gomez for Iowa State.
And it looks nice on the other side of the crowd as well, as a lot of Kansas fans have made the way up from Manhattan. And really just a great afternoon to spend outside here. Of course, Iowa State would like to make the afternoon a little bit better. They've got a tough task, as we were talking about in the break, and trying to break through with Kelsey Kessler, who's one of the better pitchers, the young pitchers in the conference, as you said, the reigning Big 12 pitcher of the week. But Iowa State's lineup is certainly dangerous in their own right, and it was a little bit of tough luck and a little bit of those really bloop kind of hits, those hits that aren't too solid. Those are some of the most frustrating to give up, but Iowa State's still in this contest.
Spenlove to lead it off. She's been swinging the bat well in this series. She takes strike one.
It's good to see her kind of improve. We saw her earlier in the season batting near that 5th and 6th spot behind Toscano and Miller, and she's kind of slid down a little bit, but it's good to see her bat kind of pick up here at the end of the season.
0-2 now from Kessler. Spenlove trying to get on base to lead off this bottom of the third with Iowa State down 4-0. Still looking for their first hit against Kessler today. And that pitch up high, it's 1-2. Kessler delivers, and Spendlove way out in front on an off-speed pitch. Strike 3.
That was just some absolutely nasty movement there from Kessler. That inside breaking ball looked like it was down the middle, and Spendlove was just tied in knots there as that one kind of broke down and in. It was just some incredible break there, and I think that's what Kessler's strength is. She's not too overpowering. I think we've seen pitchers on our broadcast that have thrown harder than she has, but she's got such terrific movement and control, and that's just so tough to deal with as a batter.
Yeah, you're right. That was a brutally tough pitch to hit. And now Maddie Reese trying to get something started for the Cyclones here in the third. Kessler missing there. It's 2-0. Kessler came in relief of Pilley yesterday. The Cyclones had gotten to Pilley a little bit, and they hit Kessler much better yesterday than they did the year before. And Maddie Reese drives one to left, and that ball is gone. A home run for Maddie Reese. The first hit of the game for the Cyclones is a home run for Reese.
And it's great when you can have those hitters in the 9 spot that can have that kind of power and get those rallies started. And Reese did an excellent job of timing one right there. And it's so tough to get it. Any sort of contact out of Kessler at times, so that one was kind of up and inside, and that's exactly where she was guessing, I believe, and she put a really good swing on that one, and she kind of knew she wanted to swing on that one and put a great drive. It looked like that almost hit the base of that scoreboard out there in left center.
So the number 9 hitter, Maddie Reese, with a home run, her 4th of the season, and Iowa State's on the board. It's a 4-1 game, and now Brittany Gomez, the top of the lineup, takes strike 1. You mentioned that Slater seems to save her best efforts for Cyclones.tv. I think the same could be said for Reese. That pitch up high, 1-1. Reese, 4 homers on the season. I think we've seen every one of them.
Yeah, and when the cameras are on, sometimes the pressure increases for some, but others, I think it kind of motivates them to do a little bit better, and both those players have done an excellent job, not only in our broadcast, but all season long, of improving that power game.
And Gomez tried to chop one into left. It was popped up, and that is out number 2 for Iowa State.
We've seen Bricky out there at short play almost everybody just a little bit further towards the third base bag than I've seen a lot of shortstops play. Typically you see him play, Slater likes to play a little bit more up the middle, I think, and that's a big gap right up in the center that I think Kansas is just trusting right now in Kessler's ability to get these Cyclones out, but we'll see if Iowa State can start putting those up the middle, because there's a big gap in there between Kessler and Bricky.
Sarah Harlock, the hitter. Iowa State trailing now 4-1, and Harlock right at Bricky. Quick release across the diamond to get the out. She had her played perfectly. And Iowa State able to score, though, on the home run by Maddie Reese. We go to the 4th, 4-1 KU.
More often than not, the best solutions are the simple ones. When it comes to corn refuge, simple is better. Simple is here. DuPont Pioneer revolutionized simple with the broadest lineup of refuge management products. Better choices. Make it simple. Refuge simplified by DuPont Pioneer.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I
am
A helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile. I've been a helpful smile for 6 years.
15 years.
25 years.
I've been a helpful smile for 39 years. I am a helpful smile.
I am Hy-Vee.
And welcome back to the Cyclone Sports Complex. We're headed into the middle innings as Iowa State trails 4-1 against the Jayhawks, and we'll see a bit of a defensive change as well as a pitching change. Taylor Smith, yesterday's starter, will come out, and as we see Maddie Reese's home run ball right underneath that scoreboard, and what it looked like when she hit it out there to left center, it bounced off one of those little tarps on the bottom half of that, but certainly a lot of power. Reese is going to move to second. Tori Toscano, the pitcher, is going to move to third. Sarah Davison is going to move to catcher. That won't affect the offensive lineup. We'll see Maggie Hull, Alex Hugo, and Shannon Naudine from Kansas as they try to extend this lead. Iowa State gets one back in the bottom half of the third on that Maddie Reese home run. And John, Iowa State bringing out Taylor Smith, who had a pretty good game yesterday, gave up 3 earned runs in 4 innings.
Yeah, she challenged hitters and came right at them, and really did a nice job at the start of that game, keeping Iowa State in it. And there you see the numbers on the season. Not an overpowering pitcher, just 36 strikeouts. But she tends to challenge hitters more than the other pitchers in the Iowa State rotation. So she will come right at Kansas and say, beat us with the bat. Kansas has done that very well to a lot of teams. But Smith, undaunted, will come right at him.
Kansas looking to break above 500 in conference play this season. They're looking to do so with a 3-run lead. Smith's first delivery of the afternoon to Hull. There's a strike right down the middle. So it's 0-1 to Hull. Smith, as you said, likes to keep that Iowa State defense busy. He's got that pitching to contract mantra down. She's done fairly well this season with that, against some top competition. The 0-1 to Hull. Swung on and grounded up the middle for a base hit. So Kansas will strike with another base runner here. Their 8th hit of the contest in the top half of the 4th, and that will bring up Alex Hugo.
Second hit of the day for Hull, and her 6th in this series as she continues to lead the Big 12 in hitting.
Hull, the senior, at first. Hugo, the freshman, coming in. She's 0 for 1, walked back in the first, grounded out to short in the third.
Iowa State was able to turn 3 double plays yesterday, Andrew, and they're playing the infield back and looking to try to turn 2 here.
First to Hugo, bounces though, and it looks like that double play to play as Hull will move over to second on the wild pitch. She'll put a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Hugo leading the team in RBIs after a 3-run home run yesterday. Has an opportunity to do so here. Pitch from Smith is outside and high for ball 2. 2-0 to Hugo. Wind blowing left to right. Not sure it helped Reese's carry out too hard. Reese really put a charge into one, but that wind has helped Kansas with all those lefties. Hugo will ground this one through the hole on the left side for a base hit. Hull is going to hold up over at third, so put runners at the corners now with nobody out.
9th hit of the day for Kansas. They had 16 hits yesterday. They had 27 in the series coming into this game, so up to 36 hits now in this 3-game series. I mean, we're just in the 3rd inning here, so they have just really continued to swing the bats well. As we mentioned, they've done it all season, leading the Big 12 in hitting.
Proving that team batting average that leads the conference. Shannon Naudine broke things open and struck first with a 2-run single back in the 3rd, and she'll take strike 1 from Smith.
And Naudine with 7 RBIs in this series so far. Really swinging the bat well.
Iowa State hoping to keep her quiet here in the top of the 4th. The Smith's second is grounded. Second bounces off of Reese's glove into center field for a base hit, and that's going to allow the first run Smith gives up to score. And Hugo's going to make her way all the way over to third base on the single. Kansas extends the lead now 5-1 on their 10th hit of the afternoon.
And 9 in the last 2 innings. They have just been spraying it all over the field. And, you know, just as we mentioned, you know, game of inches. If that ball's hit maybe 6 or 7 inches to the right, Maddie Reese might have been able to turn a double play, as hard hit as that ball was. And you certainly would have traded the run for the 2 outs right there. But as it is, it glances into center field, and now Kansas has the threat of another really big inning.
Mariah Montgomery followed up Naudine's hit back in the 3rd with her own and a single, and she scored. That first pitch to her is outside for ball 1. But runners at the corners for Kansas with nobody out. Iowa State's defense playing straight away. looking to turn a double play. Montgomery 1 for 2 on the afternoon. The 1-0 to her is grounded right up the middle to Smith, and Smith is going to go back to third, but the throw is wild, so a run is going to score on an E1. Smith looking to be very aggressive and trying to cut a runner off, but a run will end up scoring the 6th of the afternoon on the E1 fielder's choice, so runners at first and second now with nobody out, and we're going to get a visit to the mound.
They'll try to settle down Smith, who, saw that runner just off third base enough that a good throw would have certainly gotten her. But she probably would have been better served just turning and throwing to second and going for the double play, because the ball was hit hard. Had plenty of time to probably turn two. And outs right now, kind of a bigger deal than getting the lead runner.
And it looked like she wasn't quite able to get her feet underneath her there as she tried to throw over to third. Looked a little bit flat-footed. She was trying to get that run over at third. I think had Hugo been a little bit further off the base, I think she would have had a better chance at a play, but I think might have been better served to throw back over to first, but nonetheless, runners at first and second, so a force at all the bases, nobody out. Casson Salomon will step in. That's bunted right out in the front of the plate, but foul. Salomon is 0 for 2 so far. She's grounded out twice, once to short and once to Davison over at second, back in the third. Count will be 0-1 to her. Kansas continuing to look to expand their lead here. Up 6-1 on senior day here at the Cyclone Sports Complex. 10 hits so far. Do the Jayhawks have? The 0-1 from Smith is low for ball one.
A long way to go in this one, but a steep hole to climb out of against a very good pitcher in Kessler. So Iowa State really needs to limit further damage in this inning.
The 1-1 is bunted right out in front of the plate, and the umpire makes a great snag as that one spun backwards for strike two.
Sign him up.
Quick hands back there. It's 1-2. Infield playing in, looking for that bunt. Salomon, not a lot of power. That one bounces, but a good block from Davison. Ball two. Keep the runners at first and second. Will Davison with their defense back there. So it's 2-2. Runners at first and second for Kansas. Nobody out. Smith will deliver that one, and that one's going to line and twist foul as it's blooped over to the left side and out of play.
Yesterday, that's a fair ball. The way the wind was just whipping to right field, that was pushing those kind of at-bats right back into play. And today, not nearly as fierce a wind and blowing more directly out than left to right like it was yesterday. But it's definitely would have been a fair ball yesterday.
The 2-2 from Smith is swung on and chopped up the middle. Slater's going to be up with it, and a nice strong throw over to first. We'll get the first out of this half inning. The runners will advance 60 feet to second and third. And now one out here for the Cyclones.
Smart play by Slater. The thought was maybe you can go to second in that situation to get... but it was a much more sure play to get the throw to first to make sure to get one out. Iowa State needs outs at this point. That was an important one to get.
Jaylee Brickey will step in. She's walked twice so far. And first her is swung on and missed.
Off
strike one.
Stuff, yeah. A little change up from Smith was a good one.
Brickey, who's been very patient so far, will swing at strike one. A very good pitch from Smith. Smith will dig back in and get her sign quickly from Davison and fire this one, the 0-1, outside for ball one. 1-1 the count to Brickey. On the bottom part of this Kansas lineup, Maddie Stein on deck, leading the team in RBIs coming into yesterday's contest. 1-1 is chopped right back to Slater. She'll look the runner at third back and throw over to Miller for out number two.
Nice job by Smith. She's come back here, continues to challenge hitters. She's not going to start picking at the strike zone. She's going to continue to come at them and trust her defense. And Slater with two good plays, and now Iowa State a chance to avoid further damage.
The designated player, Maddie Stein, batting .321. She'll step in. She's 2 for 2 this afternoon.
Yeah, she's hit two ropes.
That one's an off-speed pitch for strike one.
This Kansas team sure looks to me like an NCAA tournament team. I think they are a well-rounded team, good offense, good pitching staff.
The 0-1 from Stein, is just a bit inside for ball one. Smith looking to settle in a little bit here after giving up 3 straight hits to Hull, Hugo, and Nadine. Looking to get out of this jam with only 2 runs on the board for the Jayhawks. The 1-1 is inside, but looks like a little bit low as well for ball 2. Good pitch, though, from Smith. Some good movement on that one. She'll get her sign from Davison. The 2-1 to Stein. That's outside, and Davison's going to have a snap throw back to third, but the runner is safe. And that's strike 2. So it's 2-2. Davison looking to be aggressive to get that third out, but Smith could get out number 3 with a swing and a miss right here. She'd love to get the out, of course, any way she can. 2-2 with 2 out. That one swung on and grounded over to second and past to diving Reese for a base hit. So 1 run's going to score. Another one's going to come in as well. Kansas will expand their lead now. It's 8-1 on a base hit to right. An absolute rope from Maddie Stein, and that's her 3rd base hit that she's hit absolutely hard.
Yeah, she's the one hitter for Kansas that had kind of struggled in this series coming into this game, but she has hit 3 rockets in this one. So you mentioned the high batting average on the season. 2 more runs in for KU, and they are building up a big lead here at 8-1.
8-1 contest. Ashley Newman will step in. He's 1 for 2. She had a base hit in that big 3rd inning. Now it's turned into a big 4th inning for the Jayhawks as well, if they scored 4 in the past 2. Iowa State with a big hole to dig themselves out of. Certainly not out of this contest. Good offense of their own. Pitch from Smith is outside for ball 2. Iowa State being aggressive. Reese was charging over to first to try and cover the bag in case Stein was going to creep off there a little bit. 2-0 to Newman. It's a strike on the outer half. So a 2-1 count now to Newman. This 8-1 ball game.
11 hits now for KU.
2-1 swung on, and there's hit number 12 for a base hit. Hit parade continues for the Jayhawks as they've hit now an even dozen on the afternoon. Runners now at 1st and 2nd, and we turn the lineup card back over to the top. Back-to-back innings. KU has batted around, and Alex Jones will get her 4th at bat here in the top half of the 4th. Conversation between Toscano and Smith.
10 hitters to the plate in the last inning. Jones the 9th to come to the plate in this inning, as Kansas went down kind of quietly entering the first couple innings, but not since then.
Jones has been relatively quiet. She had a run scored back in the 3rd. She's 1 for 3. She'll take the first pitch for a strike. Flew out to right back in the 4th, or rather to end the 3rd in her 2nd at bat, excuse me.
We saw Kansas win with the 8-run rule on Friday, and they're threatening to do it again.
That one's grounded over to Toscano, who's going to throw on to first to end the inning, but not before the Jayhawks do more damage here. They'll double their lead. It's an 8-1 contest as we head to the bottom half of the 4th.
Are you really covered? Not all insurance is the same, and you should have an agent that takes the time to learn about what you need, then tailors a personalized plan that fits your needs. Middendorf Insurance is not like the rest. We're a cut above the crowd. Insurance for your business, farm, home, auto, or other assets. Middendorf Insurance Associates.
Faster internet, better TV at our lowest price ever. Now for a limited time, call Mediacom to get always faster internet with downloads up to 10 times faster than phone line DSL. Plus, boundary-free TV, including all your favorite channels for just $59.95 a month for 1 year. That's 2 services for one incredible value. Or maximize your value with DVR service. 30 meg internet, free on demand and stars for only $20 more. Great savings, no contract required. Call 800-SIMPLIFY.
Kelsey Kessler will step back in now with a run double. It's 8-1. Iowa State trailing the Kansas Jayhawks in this final home contest and final contest of the season for the Iowa State Cyclones. As we head to the bottom half of the fourth, we'll have the middle of the lineup. Erica Miller, Tori Toscano, and Allie Kappert trying to chip away at this big lead for the Jayhawks. 12 hits for the Jayhawks to 1 for Iowa State so far. Erica Miller, the senior, looking to make a big name and a big day for herself and her last day here at the Cyclone Sports Complex. She'll look to start things off here. Toscano on deck.
Well, one hit, but Maddie Reese made it count with that home run in the last inning, and now Miller tries to get something started here. The Cyclones need a rally. This big crowd will try to help them here in the fourth.
Kessler will get her sign, the freshman, and deliver the first to Miller, who checks swing, peeled the first, and there was no swing, so it's ball one. Great pitch from Kessler there. You don't catch Miller half swinging at a lot of things. She's a very patient hitter with a very good eye. 1-0 is outside for ball two.
Well, Miller, top 10 in 11 different offensive categories all time at Iowa State. So what a complete player. First team All Big 12 a year ago and having another strong year this year.
2-0 from Kessler. Is on the inside corner for a strike. It's 2-1 to Miller.
Had a chance to put together a feature on Erica Miller and Tori Toscano last week, and really good people. It was fun to talk to them.
Good softball players as well. That's ball three to Miller. She looks to get a base runner here in the bottom half of the fourth.
They opened a little pipeline from California to Ames, and 4 others have followed. 6 Cyclones on this roster from the state of California.
Talented pipeline at that. The 3-1 to Miller is right down the middle for strike two.
Well, she's not afraid to work that count, take some strikes, and make the pitcher work, see everything she has to offer. And now with a 3-2 count, she'll be protecting that plate and making sure to try to put one in play and drive it hard.
Miller's only struck out 15 times in this long softball season. The 3-2 to her is ball four. So she'll head on over to first. They're going to appeal down to first, I believe, on that check swing. And it's a strike. So strikeout number 16, as Miller was unable to check up on that one. She was tagged out, so get a little bit of conversation from Coach Pinkerton with the umpire, but strike three. So there's one out here for Tori Toscano, and will look to be ball four, but just unable to hold up on that tough off-speed pitch.
Another look. And Miller did probably cross that plate with the bat. I'd say they probably got it right.
Slow appeal over to first, but nonetheless, there's one out now. Tori Toscano drives one to deep left center. It's a high fly ball. That's home run number 14 for Tori Toscano on senior day. And it's a second run. Iowa State scoring them all from the benefit of home runs. It's an 8-2 contest.
Tori Toscano matching her single season school record. Finally, she got her 14th of the season. She'd been stuck on 13 for quite some time. And Andrew, this was a no-doubter.
Absolutely no doubt there, as that one was absolutely pulverized to left center field for Toscano, the senior, who, despite the fact she gives up 4 runs on the mound, gets one of those back. That one was right down the middle, and she knew where she wanted to. Great to see her break out of what was really a bit of a tough stretch offensively for her, John, and great to see her break out on senior day.
42nd career home run, the all-time record at Iowa State, and now she matches her single season mark with 14 in a season.
Allie Kappert, a powerful hitter in her own right, will take ball one inside, the freshman from Ankeny.
Toscano now with 131 RBIs. She inching closer to Alex Johnson, who finished with 134. She's second behind Erica Miller.
Toscano might have a chance to do that today. Kappert will swing and miss on that one. The freshman walked back in the second, having an excellent second half of the season as she continues to improve, and she hopes maybe one day to get her name up there with Toscano and that single season home run record. She certainly has that potential next season. The 1-1 to her. It's a strike on the inside corner. Great pitch. Strike two. And I know Iowa State would like to have a few more base runners, but 2 home runs here and 2 hits and 2 runs. It's really the damage they've done so far. I think they'd like to get a few hits strung together here. That one swung on and fouled over the left side out of play.
Cappert's kind of the left-hand version of Erica Miller, the real good eye, more of a line drive hitter. Toscano takes that uppercut swing, and when she hit that ball with that uppercut swing with that wind blowing out, there was just no question. It sailed over that fence by a good 20 or 30 feet.
Hull had no chance on a play on that one. That's for sure. We're seeing a lot of home runs this weekend, Cyclone Sports Complex, and really a lot of home runs all season. This is
it really is shaping up to be a hitter's park. We saw Oklahoma State come in here and give up a lot of runs with Kat Espinosa.
Good pitcher in her own right. The 2-2 to Cappert's driven out to deep right center field. We're going to go back-to-back as Iowa State will hit their third home run of the afternoon. It's an 8-3 ball game as the freshman gets in on the action. The back-to-back home runs, John. Iowa State certainly bringing out their powerful shoes and their powerful bats today.
Another no-doubter as Allie Cappert clears that fence in right center with a blast. Take another look. This one right in the wheelhouse, up and in. You can see Kessler react, and Cappert with that strength to all fields just roped that one out of here.
Oh, you see contrast in style so far. The Jayhawks have been getting those singles and really frustrating Cyclone pitchers, and Kessler's got to be frustrated, but fortunate her offense has been bailing her out so far. 3 runs for the Cyclones on 3 home runs. Had this one an 8-3 ball game as we're in the bottom of the 4th, and we're going to get a meeting at the mound as Kessler was certainly frustrated after that pitch. She's been doing an excellent job so far, John, of keeping the Cyclone lineup in check for the exception of 3 mistakes. And fortunately for Kansas, there's been no runners on base to really make them pay.
And we talked about right on cue that this is developing into kind of a hitter's park, and then Cappert sends one way out of here in her 5th home run of the season. It's amazing, Andrew, how you mentioned it earlier. She has really, really come on. She's got that batting average up close to 300 now. And it was, as you mentioned, down around 200 just about 3 or 4 weeks ago. And so really a strong finish to the season for the freshman Allie Cappert. And exciting to think about the future of this program with her in the middle of that lineup.
Even more importantly, her on-base percentage has climbed up to 400, and those walks are coming in, as you said, John, starting to form a little bit of that Erica Miller mindset of taking a lot of walks, hitting a lot of line drives, and that only bodes well for the future for Iowa State as Lexi Slater will step in. She struck out back on the 2nd, but she does have a home run this weekend as well.
Well, 3 of the last 6 hitters for Iowa State have hit home runs.
They're hoping to keep that continuing. I'm assuming they like to get some base runners on those. Slater will try to do so. She'll take ball 1. It's great to see those home runs, but they're that much sweeter when you've got those runners on the bases to really strike some fear into those defenses. That one's a strike on the inner half. Strike 1.
Another part of that California pipeline, Lexi Slater, outstanding young shortstop from Ramona, California.
Kessler's 1-1. It's a great pitch, but it's a little bit low and outside for ball 2.
Yesterday, nobody got better swings on Kessler than Lexi Slater did. And she seems to see the ball pretty well off Kessler's hand.
2-1 to Slater is chopped foul for strike 2. Quick hands over there at third from Nadine, who got to that one quickly. It's 2-2 to Slater. Iowa State scoring 2 runs on 2 home runs back-to-back from Toscano and Cappert. Chipping away at this lead. 2-2 off speed and outside for ball 3. We'll see a payoff pitch coming up here from Kessler. No action to speak of right now outside in the Kansas bullpen. Certainly a lot of talented pitchers on this Jayhawk roster they can turn to if need be. The 3-2 to Slater, swung on and lined into right field for a base hit. Iowa State starting to see Kessler a little bit here as we head to the bottom, or continue here throughout the bottom half of the 4th, John. It looks like they're starting to time that, looked like fastball on that one, and really Iowa State trying to chip away here, and we were saying it, they have the capability to come back in these big leads that teams build on them.
They do have a good offensive lineup and a lot of players that swing the bat well. And Sarah Davison certainly one of those. She stands in with a runner board, only 1 out.
She'll line that one to deep left center field, but a great running grab by Hull will get out number 2. That one was not an easy play out there and left for Hull, but she was on a line straight to left center field. That one had double or triple ticketed on that one for Davison, but instead it's out number 2 on the warning track.
Hull got a good jump on it. She's a really good player. Certainly going to be an all Big 12 player out there in left field.
Senior making a great play. Jordan Spenlove will step in. As you said, swinging the bat better this weekend. First one to her is just on a rope over towards the Kansas dugout for strike 1. Slater reaching on a single. Davison just flies out to left. Ball ticketed for the gap. Spenlove here with a runner at first, looking to keep this rally coming for Iowa State. Fastball outside for ball 1. Spenlove struck out on a very, very tough, looked like almost curveball from Kessler back in the 3rd.
Slater 5 for 6 on steals this season, but I doubt she's going here.
That one's popped straight up. Hugo's got a read on it, and she'll fall down but make the catch for out number 3. Looks like she's okay. So we'll head to the top half of the 5th. Iowa State gets 2 more runs on 2 home runs. We'll be right back.
Iowa State fans, this is the time to get on board with Cyclones.tv.
Welcome everybody on Cyclones.tv for tuning in.
We have a special moment for Ryan and Anna, if I can get it out of my pocket.
Well, I mean, our expectations are that Russell's hard as we can.
She's going to be a superstar this year.
A basketball program needs leaders. Edgem is just that.
Will Clyburne's got it stuck on automatic. Anna Prinz, three-pointer is up. It's good.
Sorry, I gotta give my Cyclones.tv some love here.
Sign up today at www.cyclones.tv.
Faster internet, better TV at our lowest price ever. Now for a limited time, call Mediacom to get always faster internet with downloads up to 10 times faster than phone line DSL. Plus, boundary-free TV, including all your favorite channels for just $59.95 a month for 1 year. That's 2 services for one incredible value. Or maximize your value with DVR service. 30 meg internet, free on demand and stars for only $20 more. Great savings, no contract required. Call 800-SIMPLIFY.
We're headed to the top half of the 5th. It's an 8-3 contest as Iowa State scoring 3 runs on the benefit of 3 home runs. A new pitcher for Iowa State. They'll bring out their talented freshman, Riley Fisher. Certainly a lot of potential. She's coming in here to pitch for the last time likely this season. She faces this tough Kansas Jayhawks lineup.
And the heart of it, Maggie Hull, Alex Hugo, Shannon Naudine, those 3 have just been tearing the cover off the ball in this series. So tough assignment here for the freshman Fisher, but we'll see if she can throw some strikes and pitch with some confidence here with the Cyclones swinging the bats well there in the bottom half of the 4th and climbing back into this one.
This middle part of the lineup, as you said, just tearing the cover off. They've been having a great series, rather game so far as well. 5 hits between the 3 of them, as Hull will take ball 1.
Fisher throws harder than Toscano or Smith. It's just been control that's been her issue, but she does have good stuff. You mentioned it, and certainly a lot of potential, and they like her. Just a freshman.
Plenty of time to work on that delivery. That was a good pitch, just a bit inside for ball 2. As you said, a little bit more velocity than the other Iowa State pitchers. Hull seen a lot of fastballs, the senior. 2-0. That one swung on and missed. A great fastball from Fisher. That one was overpowering for strike 1.
And a big cut from Hull as she tried to guess right on that one, and Fisher just blew it past her.
Hull with that big home run that ended up in the neighbor's lawn yesterday with that wind whipping out to left center. Not as strong today. The 2-1 is high for ball 3. Fisher not missing by much, though. We've seen her, John, at times where she's really lost that release point. It looks like she's hitting her spots so far, just barely missing with a tight strike zone.
That wasn't a bad pitch right there.
Hoping to build her confidence as we head on into the next season. That one swung on and on a rope to left center field. That's going to bounce off the base of the wall. Likely extra bases for Hull, but a strong throw from Gomez almost catches her. And Hull was trying to pull in and jog in. That would have been the first out. A great throw from Gomez nonetheless, it's a runner at second with nobody out.
Well, Hull hit this ball so hard that she really had to dig to get to second. And watch how quickly Gomez not only gets to the ball, but releases it. Just quick and a strong arm into second base. Almost had her.
It's a fluid motion out there in center field. Gomez, one of the talented players on this team. She's got an incredibly bright future, and Fisher hopes to as well. And she'll throw strike one to Hugo, who also have a bright future. A lot of talented players in this conference, John.
Two freshmen facing each other here. That hit for Hull, her third of the game and her 7th of the series.
That one swung on a pop fly to center, and Gomez is going to run on it with a great speed, and Hull was halfway up the base, so she won't advance. And a great play from Gomez.
If anything hangs in the air for any amount of time, Gomez has that speed to go chase it down, and that one hung up just a little bit. And Brittany Gomez gets a great jump, and uses that speed in the defensive side of the equation as well as she does on the offensive side.
Bright future ahead for this conference with players like Gomez and Hugo. Nadine's going to step in and line that one with home run distance over towards the batting cages and left for strike one.
We talked about it in her last at-bat, how Nadine really crowds the plate and has those quick hands through the zone. So see if Fisher stays in on the hands, if Nadine can keep one in fair play.
The 0-1 to Nadine. Swung on, and it's a pop fly to shallow left. Spenlove has a beat on it, though, for out number 2.
She got those hands through the hitting zone, but got under it. And good job by Fisher coming at her. Now 2 away here.
Fisher's got good stuff, as we've said all season. It's just been a matter of location and confidence, and when she can build some confidence, she does have 2 shutouts this season, so she's certainly got the talent.
Including a no-hitter against North Dakota.
Ryan Montgomery's going to step in. She's 1 for 3. She reached on a fielder's choice back in the 4th. That one's out of the glove of Davison, so Hull's going to move and make her way over to third. Not a huge difference here. Base hit would have likely scored her anyway, but it's 1-0.
Fisher had a great career at Des Moines East. Lost to Allie Capert's Ankeny team in the championship game last year.
Once rivals, now teammates. The freshman. Her pitch is just inside for ball 2, but already, John, a noted difference in the way Fisher's been composing herself so far. She's certainly attacking a little bit more, and she's getting a little bit closer to that strike zone, which is dangerous with her stuff. 2-0. Just outside for ball 3.
You want to keep coming at them. Montgomery's had a big series. 7 RBIs in the series.
Fisher working fairly quickly. That one had some great tailing action. Catches that inside corner for strike 1.
She's definitely throwing hard. Much harder than Toscano or Smith threw. It's a little adjustment for the Kansas hitters.
She's throwing a little more conviction this afternoon as well. The 3-1 to Montgomery. Just misses for ball 4. So we'll walk from Fisher to Montgomery. We'll bring in Casson Salamone. Salamone is 0 for 3 so far. Grounded out 3 times, twice to Slater, the slap hitter.
Iowa State's going to have Reese and then the top of the order up in the bottom of this inning, so they would love to keep this an 8-3 game and go grab those bats and see if they can do some more damage. They're going to set the defense here.
The arm around the shoulder from the freshman to the senior Miller. They're all talking, going over the defense together. Trying to keep this one an 8-3 contest. Looks like the Iowa State offense has come alive a little bit in this one. 3 home runs. Not an impossible lead to overcome here. It's an 8-3 game. Defense will set itself back up, playing slightly in here. Salamone will take a strike on an off-speed pitch. Strike 1.
Getting this opportunity in the final game of the season, big for Riley Fisher, and it would be just great to see her close the season on a high note.
Another great pitch. Looks like the same one last time, but that's ball 1.
Just a little bit high, I think. Just a little bit high.
Location's been better than we've seen in a long time. It's only a good sign for Fisher. She can build her confidence, as you said, heading into next season. Runners at the corners. That one had some great movement on it as well, but tails inside for ball 2. Miller and Toscano ready to charge in case there's some form of bunt here for a hit. Slater and Reese playing a little bit in as well. That one's chopped over to Toscano, who's up with it quickly. Throws, and a great scoop from Miller. That's foul ball.
Yep.
It looked like that might have been fair, but nonetheless, great work by Toscano, playing it like it was a fair ball. So it's 2-2 now to Salomon.
Just barely on the other side of that chalk as Toscano reach across to grab it. See if Fisher can put away Salomon right here.
2-2 from her. Off speed. What a great pitch. Caught her off guard. Didn't swing at it, but it's low for ball 3.
Well, 300 plus here at the Cyclone Sports Complex thought it was a strike and let their displeasure be known.
Great.
Home plate umpire Kevin Killingsworth.
Some great energy here this afternoon on senior day for the Cyclones. The payoff to Salomon is coming from Fisher right now. That one swung on and grounded over to Slater. Has a little bit of trouble with it, and just a little bit too much speed from Salomon will allow another run to score. So 9 runs now for the Jayhawks. Looks like what will be called an error by Slater.
Now, Slater did the right thing by not throwing that ball. But once you bobble it just a little bit with the speed of Salomon, there's no chance that you're going to get her across the diamond.
So a run will score. That's Hull. She led off the inning, or rather, yeah, she led off the inning with a double. Brickley will step in. She's had a pretty good afternoon herself. 2 walks so far. Runners at first and second for the Jayhawks. Pitches inside, a snap throw from Davison, and she'll be safe over at first. That's Salomon. So it's 1-1 to Brickley. Bricky will dig back in. It's 1-1. That one will bounce for ball 2.
You know, going back to that last at bat, Andrew, I really like the confidence that Fisher had to throw that 2-2 changeup to Salomon that everybody in the building seemed to think was a strike. That was a confident pitch from a young pitcher.
2-1 is a fastball that's driven out to deep left center field. Spenlov's going to be back on it, and that one's just over the fence for a home run. That's a 3-run home run for the Jayhawks as they'll expand this lead now 12-3.
Well, it's the 6th home run of the series for Kansas, and the error proves very costly because it lets the first run in and then 3 more follow. And all of a sudden, Kansas has broken it open again. It's a 12-3 game.
Fisher pitching so well, and just one mistake will change that, though. It's now the sudden 3 straight innings for the Jayhawks with 4 runs. Fisher will stay in this one, and she'll go up against Maddie Stein, who's 3 for 3 so far this afternoon. 14 hits for the Jayhawks.
4th home run of the season for Bricky, the freshman.
The first one to Stein is outside for ball 1.
And we'll see Brittany Wildmiller, the pitching coach, come out to try to settle down Riley Fisher. Got to keep it at 9 so you have a chance to swing those bats and keep this game going, because the 8-run rule will be in effect if Iowa State's unable to score in the bottom half. So got to keep the damage from getting any worse here in the top half of the 5th. 3 straight innings, Andrew, with 4 runs for KU.
Fisher had a lot of confidence coming in. She'll hope to try and keep that. She tries to get out number 3. Fisher pitching very well so far, and just it's that problem of that one mistake after the error, and that's what ends up happening with a team that can hit the home run. Makes it a 12-3 game.
All these runs against Fisher in this inning unearned.
It's a great pitch from Fisher for strike 1. She certainly has the stuff. Just a matter of finding that location for her. She's improving. The 1-1. Looked like a similar pitch, but it's just outside for ball 2. She's got some great movement, John, on that fastball. Looks like she's got 2 varieties. One that is kind of straighter and harder, and that one, a good tailing action. That one's a straight fastball. It's low for ball 3.
Falling behind here again now, and She's got to see if she can find that strike zone right here.
Bases are empty after the home run. It's a 12-3 game. The 3-1 swung on and lined right on back up the middle for a base hit.
Boy, Stein hit the ball hard. 4 for 4, 4 singles, and all just ropes. 15th hit of the day for Kansas, and they have 42 hits in this 3-game series.
Well, and unfortunately for Kansas, they could have more. Stein 4 for 4, but no runs scored or no runs batted in, so they have not been able to take advantage of the perfect day from Maddie Stein so far. Ashley Newman will step in. She's 2 for 3. That one's right up the middle. Reese is up with it. She'll throw it over to first, and that is an out. That will end the inning, but once again, not before the Jayhawks score 4. Iowa State will have to score 1 to keep this game going. It's 12-3.
More often than not, the best solutions are the simple ones. When it comes to corn refuge, simple is better. Simple is here. DuPont Pioneer revolutionized simple with the broadest lineup of refuge management products. Better choices. Make it simple. Refuge Simplified by DuPont Pioneer.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am.
A helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile.
I am a helpful smile. I've been a helpful smile for 6 years.
15 years.
25 years. I've been a helpful smile for 39 years.
I am a helpful smile.
I am Ivy.
Kelsey Kessler's had a great day on the mound so far, but 3 big mistakes have kept Iowa State in this contest. That's the first one to Maddie Reese, a home run that almost hit off the base of the scoreboard. The next home run from Tori Toscano, making a great senior day on an absolute blast, a majestic blast to left field, a deep one, a no-doubter, and back-to-back goes Allie Kappert as she hits a home run there as well. And Iowa State, there are 3 runs on the benefit of those 3 home runs.
Yeah, they're going to need some more offense here to keep this game going, but great to see Toscano hit that long home run on senior day, and over the span of 6 at-bats, Iowa State hit all 3 of those home runs off Kessler.
Maddie Reese got the scoring started. Back in the 3rd, she's going to try and keep Iowa State alive here as we head to the bottom half of the 5th. First from Kessler is low for ball 1.
Reese and then the top of the order, so good hitters coming up for Iowa State. Let's see if they can get a little rally going.
Great crowd on hand. Would like to see the full 7 if they can. That one's a foul tip straight back for strike 1.
I think that one caught the catcher and the umpire.
Kessler with great stuff out there. She's been squared up, though, on 3 times. She's shown a little bit today that it is possible to get runs off of her. She's just a freshman, though. Bright future ahead for her. The 1-1 is low for ball 2.
Well, Maddie Reese hit that long home run almost off the scoreboard in her last at bat. So seeing the ball well against Kessler.
The 2-1 on the inner half for a strike.
Real nice pitch there from Kessler. And now Reese has to protect that plate.
It's 2-2. Iowa State down by 9. Trying to get some scoring started here in the bottom half of the 5th. That one swung on and fouled straight back. That wind is increasing strength since first pitch. It's once again blowing solidly out of the ballpark. We've seen it blowing to straightaway center and a little bit to left as well. Iowa State on those home runs, though, really didn't need the wind's help. They've been hitting it hard. That one swung on a miss for strike 3.
Well, now it's up to the top of the lineup here for Iowa State to try to do some damage.
Gomez was 4 for 5 yesterday, 0 for 2 so far. She's looking to get a rally started here for Iowa State. The freshman speedster. Single season stolen base record. Harluck not too far behind. She's on deck. First pitch is off speed. Low for ball 1. This top 2 looking to do some damage here as the season winds down. We'll be looking to do so again next year. Gomez will swing and miss for strike one.
Gomez and Harlock both have the same approach at the plate. The only flaw, they both strike out a lot. They're the two highest number on the team in strikeouts.
Coming into today, 40 for Gomez, 41 for Harlock. There's a swing and a foul ball straight back.
And I think it'd be very hard to hit when you're running, which is what they do. They basically run at the pitcher and swing that bat on the move. That's why they're so quick down the line and they get so many infield hits, but a little bit harder to put it in play when you do that.
Gomez doesn't seem to have a problem with it too often. 367 average coming into today, and that one swung on and popped up, though. Bricky's under it, though, for out number 2. So Harlock will have to try and get the 4th run of this ball game. They'll have to come with 2 outs.
And you got those 2 seniors waiting, and Miller and Toscano. It would be great if Harlock could keep this game alive for Miller to give her one more chance.
Get that last at bat for those 2 seniors. First to Harlock is on the inside half for a strike. Harlock struggled a little bit today as well. She's 0 for 2. She struck out back in the 1st, grounded out back in the 3rd. We're in the bottom half of the 5th. It's a 12-3 contest. Pitch is swung on and missed, so strike 2. Iowa State down to their last strike. Kessler looking to get her second 5-inning win of the game, and she will. Strike 3, and the throw over to first is in time.
So 3 wins in the series for Kessler. And Kansas able to put a little damper on senior day for Iowa State, but didn't spoil the entire party. Tori Toscano's last at bat as an Iowa State Cyclone was a home run, and just a great crowd on hand at this beautiful new complex to see this game. And you know, Andrew, it's tough to lose like this and to get swept by KU. They have a very good team. I think they're worthy of being an NCAA tournament team, but this Iowa State team, they can hold their heads high. They've accomplished a lot this season, and the future looks very bright with players like Allie Kappert coming back next year, Brittany Gomez, Maddie Reese, Jordan Spendlove. They've got a lot of good young players in this program. And, you know, it's neat that Tori Toscano's final at bat as a Cyclone, how appropriate. It ended with her 42nd career home run.
The all-time leader in home runs for the Cyclones. Iowa State will close the season out 21-34, 4-14 in the Big 12 Conference. Kansas will close out likely the regular season as their RPIs climb throughout, especially with that win over number 1 Oklahoma. They're 9-8 in the Big 12 Conference and will finish the season 34-16. Certainly a great offensive team and a team that's going to cause a lot of headaches if they do end up advancing into the NCAA regionals. The final score is 12-3. Kansas will finish with 15 hits. Cyclones will finish with 4. 3 home runs for Iowa State, and that's the responsibility of those 3 runs as the crowd will file out. We will have an interview after this with head coach Stacy Meinhardt-Sessler as the Cyclones close out the season. We'll be right back. And welcome back to this broadcast of Cyclone Softball on Cyclones.tv now with head coach Stacy Meinhardt-Sessler. And of course, this program loses 2 seniors. You lose seniors every year, but 2 of the best in program history. Talk about the impact they've had.
I mean, they've just, both of them are, I think like E's in 10 of the top 10 statistical hitting categories, and like Tori's in 11. I mean, they're both just amazing, and they've done a great job. They've been great leaders. Obviously, they've been 2 best hitters that we've ever had here at Iowa State, and just very, very proud of them.
Toscano had 1 of 3 home runs, which were your 3 runs today. Obviously, you'd like to have a few more base runners, but you were able to get that offense going a little bit, 3 home runs. Talk about how this offense has improved throughout the season, really throughout the program with Toscano Miller, the ability to get those runs in now a little bit more and make up for some pitching sometimes and really get improvement out there offensively.
Yes, I mean, and I think it was great that Tori, because she'd been struggling a little bit, and she just hit that, and that was definitely a no-doubter monster shot. So I was very happy for her. And Erica, I mean, she's been our most consistent hitter for 4 years. She had 299 as a freshman, which is outstanding. And those, having people like that in the middle of our lineup, that makes everybody better. And I think it's great for our younger players, for Gomez and Kappert. Those people that are coming up to see that and see that leadership, and they've both had those two young players have had a lot of success, and I look for them to keep on going just like Tori and Erica have done.
And as you said, Gomez, Kappert, Fisher, a really nice young core you got to see here in this last game. Moving forward, really just 3 important parts to this team going on, and really a lot of young talent to look forward to here for Iowa State.
Absolutely. I think that definitely Kappert came along, really well, especially the last third of the season. And Gomez, she kind of started hot and never got off that, and she's worked really hard. And and Riley, she's got great tools, and I think she's going to work hard at it this summer and next fall, and she'll get better, and she'll be right in there, and we'll be better.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we'll see you next season right here on Cyclones.tv. And that will conclude our broadcast this season for Cyclones.tv. Of course, tune in this fall as we, of course, have that new Cyclone Sports Network, as soccer will be among our first broadcasts in the fall, as well as Cyclone Volleyball. Lots to look forward to here at Iowa State University and the Athletics Department. Thank you so much for joining us this season right here on Cyclones.tv.